always nice to be healthier. But what impact are you seeing on the ground when it comes to working with these politicians to get that over the finish line, as you said? Like, is that an easy thing to do, or is it a difficult thing? Talk to me a bit about your role there, and how I imagine health is probably an easier topic to help lobby than something like cyber or surveillance or like these
Yeah,
other tech startups.
it's a very interesting question, and I would say I'm still learning a lot, right? The American political system compared to a lot of others is very political. And California is very political in particular as well. So up until the 11th hour, the bill that just passed in California was intended to apply to all restaurants. That was the intention, all the way through. And at the 11th hour, there was some back and forth between the governor's office and assembly members. It was essentially said, listen, if it's 20 plus, this will get over the line. If it's not, if it's all, we could still have some road bumps here because, and I get it, like every special interest groups here that represent the different groups, right? And if you're looking out for restaurants' best interests, this is another job that restaurants have to do. That for some restaurants, it sounds onerous. It's, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Is this going to cost me money? How am I going to keep this up to date? Like a lot of people aren't aware that there are tech solutions like us that'll make it easy for them. Like and not everyone can use us either. There's a lot of people who try and do it themselves. And so these groups that represent restaurants are rightly from the perspective of the organizations they have interest in pushing back on this, and they're lobbying the other side saying it's unsafe to do it because we can't get it perfect, and how are mom and pop shops going to do this, and we're barely keeping the restaurant industry open, and you've already raised the wages on us, and there's all these supplies are so much more expensive, all these things that have hit our industry, and now you're trying to add something else to us. So that's what the other side is saying, which I completely get and have massive empathy for. And then you have the other side, which is saying people are dying because you're not documenting what's in food. And there's 33 million Americans that have this problem. It's not 100,000. So it was a very interesting to watch the process play out and watch the different sides fight their battle. And ultimately, I think the compromise is what got it over the line. Yeah, it's interesting how things are received differently by different politics. Even I was trying to ring up assembly members and senators because that was part of the process as well to like figure out what way they were going to vote and try and convince them. And yeah, just some people just simply didn't care at all. They were like, nah, like I don't see this. It's not that big a problem. Restaurants out there, and then the others were extremely sympathetic. So point being, America's very divisive. We know that from the politics that we see on the television play out every night. And I see it trickle down into things like this, which is a shame. But I think in this instance, they came to probably a sensible compromise in terms of it was, past the Senate 66-1, which is,
Wow.
or sorry, past the Assembly 66-1, it passed the Senate 32-0. So it was bipartisan support in the end, which is why I suppose what made it easy for the governor to decide to sign. But it's crazy over here, James. It's not like Europe or the places where there is very much more, straightforward systems to get the right thing passed. It's 100% political.